Alright guys, my name is MetaGoblin and today I'm going to be answering my most frequently asked question on my streams and in my comment section, and that simply is, have you taken a break from Classic WoW or have you quit Classic WoW? The simple answer to that question is yes. I honestly haven't logged into Classic WoW, not even to check my character, in a month. I honestly haven't thought about it at all. I haven't quit the game, I definitely haven't quit or anything. I'm actually thinking of returning within the next couple of weeks, to be honest, now that Zul'Gurub is out, to give that a blast. But in all honesty, yeah, I just haven't logged in for the past month, and I'm going to be talking about why that is. So as many of you know, I play a rogue, and one of the main issues of playing a rogue is there are two specs which are very viable in PvE and PvP, but no spec is really viable for both. Well, there is, but I've been theory crafting one, but which I might start theory crafting when I return and make a video about it, but a large part, you do need to be spec'd deep into subtlety if you want to be competitive in PvP and enjoy PvP without just getting kited all day by mages and having real issues with actually engaging on your target. And then, in order to do actual decent DPS in a raid, you need to be spec'd deep into combat. And when you speak deep into combat, PvP actually just becomes unfun because it's that difficult and that frustrating. You may be thinking, why don't you just respec? Which is a fair enough point, but to respec would obviously cost, I think, is it 50, 60 gold each time? Which means I would have to farm gold for about 2 hours per week to essentially keep respecing. So I'd have to spend 2 hours of basically what you would call work, because farming gold isn't exactly fun. And I personally just don't see the point of playing a video game if I find it unfun. Now, I farm gold on Endless WoW with my Protection Paladin because I'm farming gold to progress my character. I'm farming gold because I need to save up for enchants and gems and stuff like that. And it feels like when I'm farming gold, I'm actually progressing towards something, but farming gold just to keep respecing all the time doesn't really feel like you're progressing towards anything. My brain just can't motivate itself to do it. Plain and simple, it just doesn't want to do it, and that's that. I mean, if I did have the ability, maybe like if dual spec was in Classic, well, I'm not saying that should be a thing, obviously, because hashtag no changes and all that, but if dual spec was in Classic, well, I'll probably play it loads more, because then I can casually play PvP and raiding at the same time, because I do actually want to get better at playing rogue on PvP. But the very simple fact is, if I, did try hard getting good at PvP, I'd have to basically spec deep into subtlety and be really crap in raids. So it's very restrictive in that way. I just kind of feel very restricted to raid logging, and for a large part, a month or two before I basically took a break, that's all I was doing. I was just raid logging, only logging in for raids. I honestly feel that because you get gear so slowly in Classic WoW, it's kind of the feeling, the sensation of progression is really not that great. Because say for instance in a Burning Crusade, like I'm playing Burning Crusade at the moment, and pretty much every week I get some new gear. Whereas like in Classic, I've got a month, like an entire month without getting any gear. And I know I sound kind of like a crybaby for not getting gear, but the issue with that is, for that whole month you don't feel like your character has progressed. And what keeps people motivated and addicted to video games is that sense of progression, that consistent progression. You're working towards improving your character. Say for instance if you play a game like Skyrim or Knights of the Old Republic, you're constantly gaining experience and getting more levels, getting more skills, getting more perks and stuff like that. But in World of Warcraft, literally you can spend an entire month without actually progressing your character, because there's so little loot available, in the raid. And I think that's largely the reason why I've actually just slowly switched off from the game. I mean, when Nestarius first came out, I played a hunter. I didn't start at the launch of that server, but I started a little bit later. I played Nestarius quite a lot, but I played it about the same amount of time that I have played Classic, to a point where I basically just did actually get pretty bored and was thinking of actually quitting. I basically did quit Nestarius about 2 weeks before the server actually shut down, so I wasn't even that bothered about the server shutting down to that much, to be honest, because I already quit the game. I think this is probably just the way I experience Classic WoW. I play it for the first 4 to 6 months and I really enjoy it, but after that span of time it gets a bit too repetitive and I get a bit bored of it. Whereas like I've been playing Endless WoW since launch, and it always feels like, because in the Burning Crusade there's just so much to do. Even if you're you finish with your raids, there's always more and more to do. And obviously the content in on these private servers has a faster release date, so the content comes out faster than it did in retail. So for instance, like tier 5 content is coming out now, and I'm like barely done with tier 4, so I have absolutely loads to do. I have loads to catch up with, and every time I log into Endless WoW and play with Burning Crusade, I've just got so much to do. I've got achievements to do. I haven't even finished the Tempest Keep achievement questline, which is what I'm working on. I need to farm money to get my gems. There's loads of I've got badges of justice to farm to get certain best in slot gear pieces, and I've even got gear to actually get from heroic dungeons. And I've got raid to do, I've got Karazhan to do, Gro's Lair, and Magfaridons. I'm not even done Magfaridons yet, and then sooner or later SSC's coming out and Tempest Keep's coming out, and I've got to get geared up for them. So there's just, every time I log into Endless WoW, there's just so much to do, and that's another, you know, big reason why I'm not playing Classic WoW so much, because my time is absolutely consumed, and I'm very distracted by playing Endless WoW because I'm just simply enjoying it that much. And then when it comes to the professional side of things, I don't think there's much left to make videos about when it comes to talking about Classic WoW, when it comes to making guides and stuff like that. So I feel way more motivated and way more interested in the content I'm making for this channel because I'm making Burning Crusade content, and the content in the Burning Crusade is totally fresh to me. The knowledge that I'm learning, the more and more I play the Burning Crusade, the more I research, is totally new to me. And yeah, I'm just finding that I'm finding it interesting. I feel like, you know, just before, well, just when Classic WoW launched, I was doing loads of research, in all the classes, and, you know, for end game guides, leveling guides and all that. I found that really fun and interesting to do and make videos on, and getting that same buzz again for making the Burning Crusade videos, because we kind of basically know that the Burning Crusade is coming out. So I'm going to continue to make Burning Crusade videos early to prepare people for the Burning Crusade actually coming out. And I just feel like the content I'm making, I personally find more interesting, and by the looks of it, ever since I started making the Burning Crusade content, rather weirdly, my channel has actually been at the best state it's ever been, which I think just proves that a lot of people are also pretty burnt out and a little bit bored of Classic WoW and just want the Burning Crusade to come out too early, because we're all just really, really impatient nerds, to be honest. Anyway, that's where I'm getting into the video there. My name is Metagoblin. To the next video, ciao.